Okay, Coach Vere, moving on to the second session of the day that I have styled Entrepreneurial Innovation and Creativity. According to Dr. Albert, innovation is seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. So, the world's top 10 entrepreneurs stood out mainly due to their ability to innovate. Look at Steve Jobs of Apple Corporation. He came to the limelight because of his iPhone and iPad solutions to the world. Like I said earlier on, that entrepreneurship entails providing tangible, real and relevant solutions to humankind, solving socio-economic problems. The mind of an entrepreneur, as said by Dr. Albert, goes further to think in a different fashion from the generality. You also see the same thing, but an entrepreneur then synthesizes these issues into unique solutions for humanity. We also have a very good example of Thomas Alva Edison, who lived from 1847 to 1931. He was an American inventor and businessman who has been described as America's greatest inventor of his time. He developed many devices in the field such as electric power generation, mass communication, sound recording, and motion pictures. These inventions, which include the photograph, the motion picture camera, and the long-lasting practical electrical light bulb, have had a widespread impact on the modern industrialized world. Edison's famous quote, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." But this American inventor was more than that. He was also one of the savviest business person and entrepreneur of his time, coming out with inventions and innovations that have become widespread. Their benefits are still being reaped in large doses to this day. He was the founder of the giant General Electric Corporation and also owned Edison Manufacturing and Edison Studios. So, as you come to see from the great works of Thomas Edison, entrepreneurship ultimately gives birth to large corporations and manufacturing entities that have a strong impact on people's lives in many ways. So let me talk about innovation. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things, says Steve Jobs. Thomas Edison defied all odds, regardless of having attended school for a few months. His creativity and innovations led him into great inventions. His physical condition of being almost deaf meant nothing to him as he went on to do great exploits. Thomas' affinity to improve things made him challenge the conventional systems that were used then by inventing the first monograph. Albert Einstein once said, "You cannot solve a problem at the same level of consciousness that created them. You have to rise above it to the next level. To innovate, one has to be at some level higher or better than the prevailing circumstances, first in their minds and then in their operations." Though he only spent a few months at school, Thomas Edison immersed himself in quantum reading and researching. I once said innovation is as a result of a lot of research and questioning and querying through things. You surely cannot solve a problem at the same level that it was created. Africans, let's not only see things, let's question them and proffer solutions. We have what it takes as Africans. So, what is the calculus of innovation? The calculus of innovation is really quite simple. Knowledge drives innovation. Innovation drives productivity. Productivity drives economic growth. An appreciation of what's happening in the marketplace, coupled with thoughtfulness, gives birth to innovation, which in turn drives productivity and economic growth. So, where are we missing the point as African? Where are we missing the point? Brothers and sisters, we have all it takes. There is a calculus for innovation. We need to adopt and be different. I have said innovation and creativity are key in entrepreneurship. So let me move on to talk about creativity as it relates to entrepreneurship. Being creative means solving a problem in a new way. Simple definition of creativity. It means changing your perspectives every time you come across a challenge. It involves taking risks, ignoring doubt, and facing your fears. Creativity means mapping out 1,000 different routes to reach one destination. In that process, one comes out with plenty of discoveries. Entrepreneurship requires a creative mind. Creativity entails breaking out of expected paths in order to look at things in a completely different way. In the midst of chaotic situations, creativity thrives best. So creativity doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It fashions its own perfect moments out of the ordinary ones. Without creativity, the world could have been in its primitive state. When can you do these uncommon things? And when can you do a common thing in a common way? You will command the attention of the world. George Washington Carver once said, "The creative mind doesn't wait for sunshine. Neither does it wait for a proper environment. It creates one." You might be moving on a bad path as a person, family, community, country, or nation. It is an opportunity for you to shine and outshine the circumstances by being innovative and creative. Carve your way out of that situation in a way that will get you into the books of records. So, in summing up the second session, every life diversity comes laden with opportunities. Stop complaining. But on microscopic eyes, you can discover quite a lot that is unimaginable. See challenges and encounter them, but be able to carve solutions innovatively and creatively. Thank you so much. Okay, Coach Vere, moving on to the second session of the day that I have styled Entrepreneurial Innovation and Creativity. According to Dr. Albert, innovation is seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. So, the world's top 10 entrepreneurs stood out mainly due